who I'm supposed to be on this earth, this isn't even a part of the equation. So it's a no-brainer to stop. And I haven't looked back since. Sips tea. In case you're wondering why we're here today, I'm officially 2 years sober. Have not touched it, have not tasted it, have not looked at, tried to be around alcohol at all for 2 years straight, and I feel incredible. Long story short, I was never a heavy drinker. Anybody that knows me knows that I only started drinking when I was like 22 in college. I was just with friends, and I promised them I would try it once, and then they all bought me drinks on spring break or senior week or something like that, and I was getting lit, and it was fun, right? So for the next few years, I would do it occasionally, homecoming, birthdays, whatever, random nights if I just felt like it. And I hit a point, New Year's Eve going into 2020, I got drunk as ever, yo. I got super duper lit. I was drinking rum and coke, I was doing beer pong. I don't even like beer, it's terrible, but I was doing beer pong. I was drinking vodka, I was drinking so much. And I woke up on January 1st, 2020, and I was like, yo, I'm tired of putting that in my body. It feels like poison, and I haven't looked back. So the main reason why I stopped drinking, let me tell y'all, I looked in the mirror one day and I had to be real honest with myself, right? And I talked to myself and I said, yo, your usage of alcohol, of wine, of whatever it is, of foreign substances that cause you to be in this other world, it's tied to escapism. So you're running from something. Traumas, your past, stressors, whatever you're running from, you're running away, and I am sick and tired of running. I want to face whatever I gotta face and go from there. So that's why I really decided to stop, and now I just don't even think about it anymore. Yo, I care about this video because I know there's other people on this journey, but I don't like to talk about my sobriety often because it's not really a big deal to me. It's just a part of my lifestyle. But with that being said, I'm gonna give y'all 10 benefits of being sober that I've noticed in the past 2 years. The gifts of sobriety, if you would. First and foremost, there are incredible health benefits. Your body is healthier, your organs are healthier, right? You're better able to maintain a healthy weight. Your eating habits improve, your immune system is more strengthened, and your chance of having any type of heart complications over time severely decreases. So strictly from a health standpoint, it's a very beneficial thing to do to either stop drinking alcohol or just lower your usage, man. Drink in moderation or limit how much you allow yourself to drink and indulge so you don't overdo it. The next benefit of being sober for 2 years is acceptance. Yo, you know when you're thinking about mistakes you've made or failures you've had or challenges you've overcome or just things that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, things that are stressing you out and making you feel like you're not good enough. You learn to accept all of those things. You know, when you're under the influence of alcohol, you can run away. You can always get away because you feel this sense of bliss and euphoria when you're intoxicated. And when you take that away, take that crutch away, and force yourself to face everything, it allows you to accept, which then allows you to move forward in a healthy and productive way and never have to look back again. So there are so many things that I would beat myself up over before that now it's just a part of my journey, it's a part of my story, and I'm no longer embarrassed to look in the mirror and see those things. I'm no longer ashamed of what I've dealt with or failures I've had or things I overcame. I'm not ashamed of that anymore. It just is who I am, and I'm better off because of it. The next benefit of being sober is self-actualization and knowing who you truly are. The more I was able to look into the mirror and look deep into my eyes and truly see who I was without all these substances, man, with a sober and clear mind, I was able to dive deeper into my purpose and fully dedicate my entire life to it. And now I don't even second guess anymore. It's like sometimes I'll be on this journey of pursuing my purpose before, and when things get hard, when I have a tough day, my first thought is, yo, let me go get some rum and coke. Let me go sit in my room and get deep in my thoughts and get lit and da-da-da-da. But I always felt like a stranger in that capacity. So now when I look in the mirror, I don't question who I am anymore or why I'm on this earth. It all makes sense now, even though things are still tough sometimes. Another benefit of being sober is that it saves you a ton of money. Yo, I used to just drink the small little bottles of Captain Morgan and get some Coke and all of that. And even that, I mean, yo, you can easily spend $20, $30, $40 a weekend just doing that one day. So it's not hard to imagine somebody who may drink multiple times a week or go out a few times a week, have dinner this day, have that day, and they can spend up to $50 to $100 a week on alcohol. And it's crazy, especially when you're paying down debts and you're doing this, trying to invest. And I got the music stuff I spend money on, and I'm trying to build that up and do everything I can to invest in myself. Losing that amount of money every week, it may seem small as a one-time thing, but it adds up. And over the course of a month, you might have spent, shoot, my car note used to be like $275, yo. So over the course of a month, a couple months, I might have spent my car note. So just saving money is a beautiful benefit of being sober now, because I don't even think about spending that money on anything now. I just get water. It's easy now. The next gift of sobriety is that I make way better decisions now. I'm less impulsive, I'm more methodical, more thought out, more reserved and pensive. I think when you're under the influence, like people call it, liquid courage, right? Where you get this, almost this alter ego that's even more smooth than your normal self is, or even more open or forward as your normal self is. And it's cool, right? It's fun, it lets you have a good time, but every time you come down off of that high or that drunkenness and you look back, you kind of realize that you were a little reckless, right? Or you realize that what you were doing, what you were saying is not necessarily the way you like to portray yourself. And it just didn't sit right with me. So now when I make decisions, because I'm not impaired, I'm not thrown off or confused by any substance inside my body, now I make decisions because I want to, and I make decisions that I thought out and I planned and I analyzed and I truly sat and considered before going ahead and making that decision. So even if I want to talk to a woman or talk to a shorty now, I've thought about it. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. It's not going to be a situation where I was off the lick. I was talking to somebody in a party in a club. The next day, I'm like, yo, I don't even know this chick. I don't even want to talk to her, know her number, know her name. We don't make those kinds of decisions anymore. The next gift of sobriety is that it opens you up to a new world of people. And it's crazy because at this age, right, I just turned 28 last month. Most people, especially even younger than me, most people, their lifestyles consist of parties and bullshit and parties and bullshit. I was never into that. Even when I did drink on occasion, I was never a party guy or somebody that wanted to be out in the mix. I mostly would do it in the comfort of my home, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I was out there wilding out all the time, but those kinds of people, you know the issue I had with going to clubs and to bars when I would go every once in a while? I would look around, right? And I would see so many people that they look like zombies. And in my head, I'm thinking, yo, these people probably come here every weekend doing the same thing, talking to the same people, the same place, the same music, same drinks, trying to bag something, right? Trying to talk to this girl, talk to that girl. And I'm like, dang, yo, that lifestyle seems so void of actual life. And so when you're away from that, when that's not even a part of your makeup, it's not even on your radar anymore, you're more open to other things, like just meeting people in grocery stores, meeting people at Marshalls, right? Just randomly, like you might take a glass blowing class or an archery class or something and meet people who are into different things. Shoot, going to the gun range, even at the gym, any place, but you get opened up to so much more than just people who have to indulge all the time. There's nothing wrong with it in moderation. If that's what you choose to do, it's cool. But for me, I don't even have a desire to be around those kinds of people anymore. And even the kinds of women that I date or that I'm interested in, now that's become a pretty big turnoff, which is interesting to me, because before, even though I wasn't really into it, I wouldn't care so much. I mean, if my girl was doing whatever. Now I still don't care on the highest level as long as she's responsible. But I'm way less drawn to women who are in the party scene, in the club scene, drinking all the time, always gotta be lit, have a bottle, have this, have that, and the camera like, hey, I don't even wanna be around all of that, to be honest. So it's crazy how much the kinds of people that you even find yourself around will shift when you're not intoxicated or in that lifestyle. And the next gift of sobriety is that you get to live in the moment more, yo. You know what's crazy about so many nights where I will be drunk, and granted, I've never in my life been blackout drunk, not once. But I have been super drunk to the point where I threw up twice in my life. I've been drunk to the point where my only memory was that I was drunk. Like, never blackout, but it's, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where you go out and it's lit and you remember what's going on, but your predominant memory is like, yo, I was lit last night. I was doing this, doing that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That's a crazy place to be in. So now if I go anywhere, yo, I'm living in the moment. Every single second is precious to me, yo. And I have to embrace it and enjoy it for what it is, man. Good, bad, and different. I sit in mine now. I experience it. If I'm taking a walk, if I'm out in nature, I'm embracing all of it, yo. I'm just in tune with every little thing around me. So it makes my life more smooth and more peaceful, because now even small mundane things seem so beautiful and magical to me. Like watching a squirrel run up a tree, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, or just listening to cars drive by, or looking at the clouds, right? Speaking to a family member. All of those things, those small little moments, they matter so much. And now that I'm completely sober and clear-minded, I'm way more able to enjoy and embrace every little second, every little thing that crosses my path. I think that's how it's supposed to be, at least for me. The next gift of sobriety is that you have way more time for things that fulfill you or things you're passionate about. No hangovers, no next day grogginess, this, that, and the third. Granted, I've never had a hangover. This is crazy. All the times I've been drunk in my life, I ain't never once had a hangover in my life. I would wake up, I could be on 2 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, right? Wake up, drink a smoothie, and I was good to go. Never had that all day thing where you in the bed all day with a headache. I'm so miserable. I done seen that happen too many times. That's unbecoming of human beings, in my opinion. But people always talk about how they don't have time for side hustles. They don't have time to get in the gym. They don't have time to read, to meditate, to do things that they're passionate about, or new hobbies or bucket list items that they want to try. But they find all the time in the world to get lit every Friday, every Saturday, or every day after work, drinking a beer, watching Netflix, whatever. Granted, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but you do have the time. But you gotta make the time. If you choose to spend your Friday nights in a club somewhere getting drunk, well damn, maybe your Friday night could have been spent at the gym, right? Or your Friday night could have been spent working on that business you were talking about, or reading that book that you wanted to read to better your mind, right? These are all things that come when you have that extra time, because you're not spending it around mindless people and having mindless interactions. You're actually doing something productive and something that's gonna fulfill you and push you forward over time. My last big gift of sobriety is that you make such a huge impact on the people around you, yo. They're always gonna notice, yo, something is different about you. And they're not gonna always be able to put their finger on it, but they'll know something's different about you. Most people, they follow the crowd, yo. They do what is cool to them. They do what is, or I'll say, cool to other people. They do what other people think they should do. And they just roll with it because they want to feel accepted so damn bad. It's shocking to people when they learn about my lifestyle. And what's crazy is this is pre-sobriety. This is just me in general. When they hear about my morning routine, when I wake up at 3:30 and I work out, I pray, I meditate, whatever. When they hear about my discipline in the gym, when they hear about my discipline with my music or my freestyles, or how I spend my time, or how I deal with relationships and women I'm dealing with, they hear about it and they can't believe that I'm actually living that way. My diet, right? My same breakfast every day. They can't believe that that's the life I'm living. Because it sounds so foreign, because most people are just swayed by circumstance. They're swayed by circumstance and they're swayed by crowds and groupthink and herd mentality and sheep mentality. That's what controls most people, you know. When people also hear about things I've been through and things I've defeated in my life, they can't believe, like, yo, how you still having that mindset? How do you make it to this point where you are just a savage against life? Yo, you just, life be swinging at you and you just keep ducking the shoulder and swinging back harder. How do you get there? And I always tell people, yo, it's my commitment to me to stand out amongst the crowd. I'm cool with that. Sobriety for me, that's a part of my journey, man. Of me being my own self and knowing what works for me and what doesn't. If my usage wasn't tied to escapism, if it wasn't tied to me running away from traumas and my past self and my future self and whatever, if it wasn't tied to that, I would have never had to stop. Because once again, I was never dependent. I was never a heavy user. I was just here and there. I just get lit, man. It was fun. Shoot, I liked it. Had a great time. I'm not gonna demonize the times I had it. An amazing time doing it. But I knew myself. Self-awareness is everything. And one thing that I'm always gonna be committed to is that I'm gonna always walk to the beat of my drum. So people still to this day, yo, you don't wanna drink with us? No, I don't. You don't wanna go to this club? Nope. I'd rather work on a video. I'd rather write a rap. I'd rather go to the gym. I'd rather read a book. I'd rather do a bunch of things than be at somebody's club or somebody's bar. I don't even go to those places anymore. Why don't you? Yo, I don't want to hear it, bro. I said no. I respect that. Because little by little, right? I've had, man, friends, family, acquaintances, teachers, co-workers, mad people ask me, yo, how did you get to that point? Or how can I start to implement some of those things to help me get myself on track? Because I don't understand life to the fullest. I don't know everything, but one thing I do know is that you have to give all of you to your truest self and give that truest self to the world. And for me, indulging in liquor and all of that, that's not my truest self. That's me following the crowd. That's me being somebody I'm really not at the core. So that means if I'm in that lifestyle, then every time I give me to the world, I'm giving less than I'm supposed to, which to me is a disservice to the man upstairs, to me, to my family, to the world, to the people whose lives I can change, and the people I can inspire if I stay on my job. It's my job to stay on my job. And liquor ain't part of my job, bro. Even at a very young age, I've always known to be legendary, you gotta be different. You gotta do things that other people are not willing to do. And this is much bigger than alcohol, by the way. This is for any distraction, any temptation, anything that's gonna take you away from your purpose, yo. That instant gratification, anything that's like that delays your progress. Yo, the easiest way to falter in your dreams and your goals is to allow those things to take over your life. This could be alcohol, this could be sex, women, it could be porn and masturbation, right? It could be video games, it could be internet usage, social media, it could be a ton of things. But I think it's self-awareness. You gotta know what works for you, yo. So take a strong, hard look at your life. Take self-inventory, right? And look at those behaviors that you're spending a bunch of time on. Think about, yo, what works for me and where I'm trying to go and who I'm trying to be. So the biggest gift of sobriety was me just reconnecting with my deepest and truest self and saying, look, who I'm supposed to be on this earth, this isn't even a part of the equation. So it's a no-brainer to stop. And I haven't looked back since, not once. And I don't plan to, because I'm on my purpose and I'm on my way. Now, I do have to give a little warning to y'all because it's not easy to just get rid of a vice or a time waster or something that tempts you and just keep moving forward like everything is cool. Nah. When you have something that's taking up so much of your life, anytime you get rid of it, especially if you go cold turkey, which is tough, but if you go cold turkey, naturally you're gonna find ways to fill that void with something else. And 9 times out of 10, whatever you fill that void with in place of the alcohol, whatever it is for you, it's gonna be something else toxic. So for me, when I put down the alcohol completely, right? Women have always been my biggest vice. So me, I went deeper into women and sex and this and that, and that wasn't healthy either. So be very clear, be very mindful of the fact that when you get rid of one, something else is coming to replace it. So it's on you to be self-aware and to be in tune and very, very disciplined and say, okay, look, when I have these urges now where I used to want to go get lit, I have to fill this with something productive or healthy or helpful. I can't just indulge deep more and more into some other vice and think I'm getting better, because that's not improving your life either. Now you just replace one vice with another vice. That means some of the people that you've been around, they're not gonna really want to be around you anymore, and that's okay. You gotta be cool with that, yo. Understand this. Some of your best friends, y'all go out every Friday, man, every Saturday. Every brunch on weekends, y'all go out, right? Y'all get lit. Some of these people, if you're not indulging, they're not gonna wanna be around you anymore because you're not fun, you're boring, you need to lighten up. You don't need to lighten up, yo. You need to tighten up. You need to find out who you are and follow that to the fullest. And if that don't involve alcohol, that's okay. There are plenty of people who will accept you for who you are. I'm one of them. So I just want you to be very mindful of the fact that anytime you're changing, anytime you're improving, it's not gonna resonate with everybody around you. And everybody's not gonna understand the new you, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because the new you got new people to meet, the new you has new experiences to have, the new you has new goals to reach, new levels, you know what I'm saying, new accomplishments, new beauties, new wins, new places, new faces, all of that. I know you can do it. I've been completely blessed since I stopped drinking, yo. And granted, life is still tough. I haven't had a perfect time. I've still struggled with so many things. But the simple fact that I'm no longer running is, I think, the best feeling in the world, that I can actually face the things I go through and not have to escape to move forward. If anybody's struggling with this journey, I would love to speak about it. I'm here to help. I'm here to talk about it. Like I said, I try not to talk about it much because it's just my lifestyle. I don't really want to make it a big deal and a big thing. But if anybody's struggling, I'm here to help, to talk about my story and how I continue to navigate and push forward even in the midst of people not understanding why I make the decisions I make. Yeah, so I'm here for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. I love you all, and Godspeed.